What's going on YouTube? Welcome back for another video. Today we are working on a 2005 Dodge Dakota with a 3.7 liter V6. We're going to be replacing the water pump. Now, first thing you're going to want to do is take off the belt. There's going to be a pulley right here. We took it off because that pulley was bad. That was what we were originally replacing. I found out the water pump was leaking as well. So take the belt off first. Then you're going to want to take the shroud off. There's just some plastic plugs that go in there right here. Take those out and this will come off. And now in order to get the fan shroud off, you got to take the clutch fan off itself. I have the puller, so it was easy. Now for you guys that don't have it, the only suggestion I would have is maybe put two Allen keys in there and somehow weld them together. If you don't got a welder, then you can also rent them down at Canadian Tire. But yeah, get the clutch fan off. Once you get the clutch fan off, there's going to be two 13mm bolts, one there and one there. That'll just pull right out. Oh, I forgot about the hose, but that's just self-explanatory. And then once you get all that out, it'll look like this. Once you get the shroud off, this is where I like to drain the radiator. That way you don't have to curl underneath. This one had, I guess, a leak for a bit. So when I pulled that top hose, nothing really came out. So there's will be the peacock. Let it drain down into the pan there. Now I pulled that off already. I had this all out, and you don't need to do that to get at the water pump. That bolt is accessible with that still on. We just did that because it was leaking up in here, but it was all wet, so we didn't know if it was leaking from the back or the front. That's why we pulled that. So now you're gonna have those 13mm bolts holding the water pump on. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when you pull them out, make sure that they are in the same spots, because some of them are going to be different lengths. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll set you guys up. One thing I did forget to mention, this nut right here is a 36mm. So if you go and try and do it yourself, you're going to need a 36mm wrench. Just throwing that in there. So yeah. Alrighty. So I'm going to start taking the bolts out. And now, what I'm doing is I got a piece of cardboard. So whatever bolt I take out, I'm just going to kind of picture an imaginary water pump. That was the top one. So jam it through, put it in the top. On the side one here. So go ahead and pull this one out. See how that one is longer than the other? Grab our cardboard. That was down there a bit. Put it through. Go on to the next one. So just got back from the parts store, got the 2 pulleys, the water pump. I decided to go ahead and change the thermostat while I was in there. So if you want to go ahead and do that, there you got 1 bolt there, 1 bolt on the bottom, right down in there. I don't know if I can show you. Kind of hard to see. And they are 8mm, 2 of them. Go ahead and take those out, and that will come right off, and the thermostat will be fine there. One thing I like to do is once you get the old part out, just grab the other one, make sure that they're the same size and everything. These ones should look like they're good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in and start assembling the water pump. You're gonna want it so that this part is facing the motor. So the thermostat doesn't actually sit in there very well, so I found it easier if you put it in the plastic housing that's attached to the hose and then put it against the motor. You don't need them too tight. So for the torque specs on that thermostat housing, it is actually 15 to 22 foot-pounds. So if you want, you can do it to that. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it as snug because I don't want to risk stripping it tiny hole. So now we're going to go ahead and put on the water pump. Here's the new one. Comes with a seal. You're just gonna put it in the groove there. Let me do that and go ahead and put it on. Now sometimes I like to use RTV just to hold the gasket in. This one sits in there actually rather nice, so I'm not going to bother with that. Now I'm going to go ahead and put it on. Now grab your cardboard with your bolts on it. You know where they'll go. Okay. Just slap her on there. Grab your top bolt from your cardboard. So in case you guys didn't do the cardboard thing, you're gonna have a short one in the top, and then to the right of that is gonna be a long one. The one below that is another short. And then below that one, another short one. Alright, so now on the left side, from that top one, which was a short bolt, we got a long bolt. And the next one, another long bolt. And then the last two are both short. And there you go. So now, I'm going to go ahead and tighten them up. Now these ones I am going to torque. I'm going to torque them to 40 foot-pounds. Now when you do this, just kind of go in a crisscross motion. Don't torque it all the way to 40 right away. Just kind of snug it up. Should be good. And I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to pick up one of these for yourself. It's from Ulsa Tools. Really nice torque wrench. I quite like it. Well, that's pretty much it for the water pump install. I'm gonna go ahead and put on those two pulleys down there and alternator on. So all those are torqued up, and I'm just gonna go ahead and put everything back together, starting with those idler pulleys. So I didn't show you, but this is what the one I took off looked like. That was the main reason for this. And so let's go ahead and put a new one on. And then once you got that done, you can pretty much slap it all together. I'm gonna go ahead and cut and finish putting on the alternator and all that, because you guys don't need to see that. And then once I get everything situated, I'll get it back. So just poured one of these jugs in there. Concentrate must add water. So now I'm using deionized water for batteries and radiators, only because I had it sitting around. So you don't have to, you can use tap water. Now I'm just going to fill it till it comes up to the top. Squeeze it a little bit. Top it up a little bit. And now I'm just going to leave the radiator cap off. Start it. Once it gets to an operating temperature, the thermostat will open up, and whatever was left that didn't go into the water pump will go in there. And I'm just going to top it up with some more deionized water. It's supposed to be a 50-50, so whatever you do, if you do a full jug of this, you got to put in 3.78 liters. So that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a good one. Cheers.